Hello, beautiful souls. How are you? You are here with our, I think it's the 15th. I put the 15th down. I've lost count. But 15th Bonestone Bash. I'm here with my awesome artist, Anna Tarunian. It's an inside joke. My husband can't pronounce her last name. But it's Anna Turian, artist extraordinaire and illustrator for the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. Anna, how about you say hello?
Guys, thanks for coming by.
We're excited. We are uniquely excited. we just had to do a little talky, finalize some ideas and get some things in order. So sorry to keep you waiting. We are going to have a pretty jam-packed session today. We're going to stay on for just the hour. Like I've said in the last episode of the Bonestone Bash, that we're going to try and keep our creative sessions to an hour long so that everyone can manage it, and watching it back, if you've missed it, is not a tedious affair. So, and it also gives Anna and I a little time afterwards to keep designing and to tweak a few things and to discuss extra little bits and pieces, because you would not believe how much work goes into creating a tarot deck. It is still blowing my mind. I did want to make a few little announcements as well. So I think I've said this before, but I don't think I've said this before on the Bonestone Bash, and that is that my husband, my beautiful, delicious, amazing, awesome husband, has agreed to take, well, he didn't agree. It was his idea. He's taking the kids after Christmas down south. He's going to be gone for a total of about 4 weeks, and he's giving me that time as a present for me to sit down and write the Bonestone book, because I've been having a hell of a time trying to create a solid, cohesive stream of thought, because I've got consistent interruptions, and I'm also doing readings, and the time is just, I'm writing. I've just gotten through the High Priestess. I've started on the Empress. I'm trying to find a lot of information for each of the cards. It's important to me to do my absolute best here, as I'm sure you can appreciate. I'm not just going to be writing something that's very generic. It has to be very soulful, and that's my style of writing anyway. So I need to be able to be in some kind of peace and quiet. And so this is how sweet he is. This is how sweet he is. He said, when I'm gone, I don't want you to become a hermit and just write and not give yourself any space, because you're going to end up depleted. So please start to work on your health, eat well. We can set up some smoothies and some shakes and some food, and we can go over a diet. He's very nutrition oriented. He really helps me out in that regard. And then he's purchased me some yoga classes. He purchased me 10 yoga classes. He's like, make sure you go at least twice a week so that you can sort of break that habit, get out of the house, relax, unwind, focus on your body and all that kind of stuff. So he's made it so easy for me after struggling. Like, I've been struggling to find the time, and I've been doing it despite it. I've been up late, up early, wedging it in whenever the kids are asleep. Yes, I'm writing a book for the deck. That's right. I'm writing the companion book for the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot, and it's going to be a big one. Now, the second thing that I wanted to say is that I'm talking to a publisher at the moment, and not a publisher, sorry. No, not a publisher, not a publisher. I'm talking to a print house at the moment. Sorry, not a publisher, a print house, so a printer, and we're getting to the nitty-gritty of things. And so if I haven't said it before, I'm just trying to look for what I'm looking for. So here we go. It just stands to reason that they're close together. I've just got to shuffle a million things to get at it. So originally what I was going for is something similar to the Sacred Creators Oracle. This is one of my favorite oracle decks, and it's done by Chris Ann Donnelly, who is amazing. This is the style of box that I was going for. I'm showing you this so that you have an idea of what exactly it was that I was aiming to achieve. So Chris's book and deck fits neatly into this box. However, the style of box was voted unfavorable by many, and I don't understand why. This kind of box doesn't bother me, but it's a thing. Anyway, so people don't like this, and it's you know, the same situation in the Wildwood, where the deck is side by side like this, and you pull out each halves. The reason why they do deck boxes like this is for space. It means that then the book will fit snugly and less cardboard has to be used, and everything's still cushioned nicely. But apparently having a deck split up like that is really unfavorable. I was actually quite shocked to see people complaining about that, but it's actually a thing. And it was considered a big no-no. And I'm like, but this is the box that I was originally going to go for, because it's, you know, it's compact, it's succinct, it doesn't take up too much space, it's the average size of a book, so you can just slot it on the shelf as like a book. Like, that's easy peasy for me. I think that that's amazing. But because that's been like really critiqued, I started to look at different options and say, this one here is the Japri Tarot. This is a US game systems deck. It's a sort of a flip box. The book is in there as well. This is a much, let me just say, like, comparatively speaking, this is a much smaller deck here. Sort of like package, and not deck, but a package. And it's got a sturdy book in it. So it's a pretty detailed and pretty sturdy little book. And then the deck sits there all in one go. But you can see, hold on, things are falling off my lap, but you can see it fits snugly in there. But the thickness of this deck, of this book, it's noticeable. It's a noticeable thickness. And it's a bit more bulky. It doesn't quite have the streamline. So I really wanted to ask opinions about this, because if it's going to be a huge issue, for many people out there, for the people especially that have already pre-ordered. So I need to know this from you. If you've pre-ordered already, like, which sort of style would you prefer for the box? Because I don't want to just assume that just because this is nice for me, like, I like this. This is easy. It fits on the shelf nicely. It's slimline. It means that, you know, everything's together. The book can fit beautifully in there. You know what I mean? So that's really compact.
I think you're going to have less discussion with, I can tell you that some people, I mean, you know, here's the thing. I personally, whenever I get a deck, even if it's like if it's in a box with a book, I always just put it in the baggie. I take it out if I use it. I never use the boxes unless it's a very compact box, like the Wild Unknown, the size of the deck. I usually take it out and put it in a little baggie. So I know a lot of people do that, but I know that they were complaining. So.
It was a complaint. Yeah, it was just, I didn't even think that would be an issue. Like, I didn't really think that the nature of the layout of the deck, because it really is to just better store the deck. So either way, I don't think that the price between both of them is going to be better or worse. I just think that it's personal preference, and quite frankly, you know, what are you going to do? So I'm going to put a little post. I'm going to put a little post on the Bonestone and Earth Flesh group, and just ask and put a little poll there. And then you guys can, if you could kindly tick which one works, then I can make my decision up based on the general consensus for the people that are interested in this deck, and not just people who are talking about random other decks. This is directly applicable to this deck. You have a say here. And if you want to exercise your say, then you're going to be given the opportunity to do so in the Facebook group. Benefits for being a part of the Facebook group. So that was just a little bit of overview of stuff that's been going on. Book is going. Printers are starting to get a bit closer. I'm really talking to a printer now that speaks my language, literally and metaphorically. And they're trying out a whole bunch of things for me. They're giving me some great quotes. I'm feeling very comfortable about where this is going. I've got a good feeling. And a big shout out to Gillian C. Wild for putting me onto this particular company, because it's made the world of difference. And because of this, because of her kindness, and because she's been able to let me know her process and how she has had successes and how she's had to try and tweak some things, and the things for me to be concerned about and to keep an eye out for. Using the same printer, she's actually been able to give me a lot of tools for myself to work with at my disposal, and I'm infinitely appreciative of that. And I would also like to say that Gillian's Naked Heart Tarot is going for pre-orders on Wednesday. That will be Thursday here in Australia, Wednesday for you guys in the States. You can pre-order her deck. It is 400 GSM cardstock. It's going to be very similar quality, very similar. The book is a little bit different to the Bonestone, but the quality of the deck itself is going to be the same. And well, at least I hope. It's not been done yet. You know, I haven't printed mine yet to compare, but that's where the hope is, right? That's where the hope is. So that goes for pre-sale, and I just wanted to give her a good shout out there because she's amazing and wonderful and sweet and kind, and she didn't have to give me all that information, and she did. So I just infinite heart pouring love to that woman, honestly. Amazing. Right, so all of that out of the way, let's give it over to Anna, who is going to show you what she has been working on and how awesome has Anna been with her sketches, her live sketches on the Facebook group. Again, if you're not a member of the Facebook group, you miss out on seeing Anna like ink and paint live the cards, and she does so effortlessly. So I'm going to hand over to Anna. I'll mute my mic, Anna, to make it easy for you and sip on my tea.
Thank you. So I'm going to be showing you the last 3 cards of the suit of cups. Yay, we're done with cups. So let me just say that we only have 28 more cards to go, and we are done with the deck in terms of art-wise. We've covered 51 cards. So we've illustrated 51 cards. We have 22 suits, and we've already started concepting for the suit, for the wand. So these are the last 3 cards of the cups. So I'm going to show you the, let's see, I showed you the page last time, I think, yeah. The Knight, the Queen, and the King of Cups. So you've seen the sketches, the pen and ink on the Facebook page, because I actually showed these live. We were ink them up, but nobody's seen the color versions of them. So that's a surprise. Okay, I'm gonna disappear for start with the Knight. All right, so let me make sure that I have it in order here. Okay. So this is the Knight of Cups. I'm going to switch a little bit of light on it. Go this way. This is the Knight of Cups, guys. This is the Lady of the Lake, and she has a sword in her hand. She is swimming towards you. She is in a water scene, so I'm going to zoom a little bit. And even though she's underwater, you can see the kind of the sky in the background up top, because again, it's part of the cups suit, and we're keeping the color consistent in the sky. And pull this a little bit. Here, my hand's shaking, but you get the point. You get the point. And there's also, where is it? There's the moon. You can kind of see it shimmering in the water. Again, pull it back, and you'll see the actual cards on the group tonight. Once we're done, I'm going to post it. So that was the color version of the Knight. Here is the Queen, which is Imanja. Right? I'm pronouncing it right.
It is Imanja.
Imanja, okay. Made that these are the offerings in front of her. We have a candle for light, watermelon, banana. And then this is a white lily. Traditionally, the colors are associated are blue and white. So we have the blue of the water, also the necklace that she's wearing, white and blue. And the moon is at the back. And you can see the tail. So we're going, again, I'm going to show a side because you can kind of see it. So closer, doing the same thing that we did with the suit of swords. Little zoom. Bring her a little closer. Okay, so this one will be also. And then the last but not least, we have the king, Neptune. So this is the king of, gonna be cropped around here. So you're gonna see the face. And he has baby blue eyes. And this is the suit of cups, and we are done with cups.
That was very exciting. That was very exciting for me. I was multitasking behind the scenes, but I'm like, so we have got such a great suit of cups. I really like it. I really like it. And I just wanted you to know that this is the second time in Anna's life since meeting me that she has had to work on Emanja. Anna actually made me this Emanja statue. And it was the nicest, sweetest, most amazing gift, because I had just come back from Brazil and so much had happened to me in Brazil, and my matron, they flipped again, which is a long story that I'm not going to get into right now. But now I was like, now I've got to start all over again. And I was very disheartened as I was saying this, and I think she could sense my disheartenment. And Emanja actually creeped into her subconscious and went, it's me, it's me. She gets haunted by statuary. She's haunted by statuary.
I'm haunted by one right now. And actually, I'm probably going to work a little bit on it because I can't seem to, it's just like constantly.
She's haunted by it. She gets like, boom, it's in her head. And then all of a sudden, she's haunted by it. And I cannot tell you the impact that that statue had on me. Forever grateful, Anna, because it came at just this time where I was like, I have nothing to represent her. And I'm used to having statuary of my Orisha. I'm just used to it. And it felt very, I was already in a heap of turmoil over it. And it was just added pressure. And as soon as the statue showed up, everything else appeared at the same time. So it was literally the governing force, like the magnet that attracted everything else. And then within, no joke, a week, I had a fully set up altar for Emanja, and my whole home life completely stabilized. So it was a huge catalyst. If you ever are in the market for a statue, you know where to go. You know where to go. Don't overwhelm her so much that she can't work on my tarot decks. Just don't do that. But, you know.
Actually, I'm going to work on, I'm going to do Lilith next. I'm like, I can't, I'm not even going to go there.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Right. So we have moved into the, what am I going to say? The suit of wands now. The suit of cups is complete. It's colored. It's finished. Yay for us. And so we've got that sorted out. And now we're in wands territory. And we've been conceptualizing wands. Wands happens. It's just the moment you play with it. And this is something that Anna could probably speak on more than myself, because this is my first tarot deck and she's done a million. But the moment you start playing around with the suits, the energy of that suit somehow, some way plays out in your life. And in the construction of the suit itself. So we found that with cups, we contemplated everything. It was all very contemplative. It moved a bit slower. You know, with air, it was a little bit quicker, like a little bit quicker. With fire, we have it almost completely conceptualized. Nothing necessarily inked or colored yet. No, we're moving through it. We've got the core ideas, and we're going to continue developing those core ideas. It happened with such hunger and ferocity, honestly. So you know that when you're playing with fire, it's going to be quick. So how do you want to do this, Anna? Do you want to? You've sketched out some.
Okay, so
you've sketched out some, haven't you?
We left off on time we did the 4 of Wands, which is, this is the last one that we did, the 4 of Wands sketch. Yep. So right now I have them in sketch format 1 through 4. Oh
no.
5 and 7.
You froze then. You froze to me. I'm not sure if it froze to everyone, but it froze to me for just a minor second there. Yeah, so you've got 8 through to 4. Yeah, I can hear you, see you, hear you. Yeah. So 8 through to 4. Oh, by the way, as we were discussing the 4 last time, we were talking about what was it? Tattoos, ritual, culture, all of that good, yummy stuff. So I think we're going to be going much more Polynesian on this one. So a good amount of Polynesian tattoos and perhaps face tattoos. We don't know. It's heading in that direction. So
which one?
Oh, it did freeze for everybody, didn't it? Froze a bit, just a split second. Nothing to worry about. It's okay now. Okay, cool, sweet. Alrighty.
Which one are we? Polynesian.
The tattoo, Polynesian tattoo, Polynesian culture tattoo. 4 of Wands. Our tattooing 4 of Wands. We were supposed to really decide. Beg your pardon?
Wands, the Polynesian.
Is it?
The tattoo.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Because the 4 is the braiding. Yeah, the 4.
Yeah. Okay, so that we talked about last time, so Wands. You mentioned that you were interested in seeing a. So usually it's the guys with the sticks, they're kind of competing.
Yeah. The clash. And it's about rivalry and competition, and healthy rivalry and competition. Right. And I say this because the suit of Wands is just that way inclined. It likes to act. It's ambitious. It's competitive. That's the general nature of it. And so it's healthy competition. It's about the release of energy as well, in a really healthy way. So it's not necessarily bad or cunning competition, of course, unless it's brushing up against perhaps some of the middle swords, suit of swords, some of the cards there in the middle, you know, it's brushing up against those, and it's unhealthy competition. But on its own, it's just a really fucking good time for those competitive people that are driven by fire and that like to succeed. So that firm in your noggins, I have an idea that, believe it or not, came to pass many, many months ago, and I actually snapped a photo. Did this happen in my mind, or did I actually send this to you? Did I send you a photo like many, many, many months ago of that big tall tree?
You talked to me about it.
Okay.
But no.
That's a bummer. I should have. I was at a fish and chip shop, or, you know, up here on the way back from the Herbcraft Apothecary up in Speewah, and I had my some of my coven witches with me, and we were sitting there waiting for these chips. We were recommended to go there. It was supposed to be amazing. When we get there, there's the 2 people that are working there are covered in like pentacle tattoos and all this esoteric symbolism all over their body, and I'm like, interesting. And I was sitting there and I was like looking around, and there was this really old, kind of faded but rather large poster, and it was of a big tall tree. And just as I was sitting there, I was having that, like, you know, really relaxed, sort of mellow experience, and I saw my 5. I saw my 5 of Wands, which was a competition to climb this tree. Who could climb this tree the fastest? And then below on the ground one guy, like full emphasis on him, sort of like screaming as though he's cheering them on, and they're going for it. Really physical kind of labor, going from rung to rung of this really tall tree. So the special emphasis is on the guy. You can see the climbers in the background, but that's the idea that I had. And yeah, so that's something that we're going to look at developing now. Now, I'm not sure on the tree itself. The one that I saw there at the time, I think it might have just been a giant pine, just from the shape. But I'd like to actually really look at that tree, because trees are important to me, and I'd like to get a really interesting one. So maybe even a fig tree, although fig trees aren't that tall. It needs to be a really tall tree. What are some really tall trees, people? Start throwing stuff at me.
Well, the other thing is, like, I think you need an angle. You need, if they're climbing and you have this guy kind of at the bottom, your shot kind of has to be from looking up. It's almost like you're part of, like, if you were to be there at the scene up and seeing everybody, have like a little bit of a perspective,
an angle there.
You can angle like so you can see all of them climbing. Get more action versus if you just had it straight on like that, like seeing it front. I mean, we can explore it. We can see how it looks, and then.
Well, I'm not being descriptive enough in my search. Really tall trees.
Ghost gums, pine trees, cedar, redwood, oak trees. Ancient
oak trees can get really tall. Wood. Ghost gums are beautiful. Aren't ghost gums just beautiful? Holy doolies. List of superlative trees. Wikipedia just taught me a new word that I'd never heard of before. Okay. Tallest. The redwood. Thank you to the person that wrote that.
The what? You're
the
kind of breaking.
One. The mountain ash.
I'm looking these up as you're saying them. Yeah, those are pretty big trees, but they're also very wide.
That's true. Giant sequoia. Southern blue gum. Ooh. You want something with some, it might just have to be a pine, just for the sheer sake that if you're going to climb it.
Yeah. It has to, I think it has to be like, you know, not something that's extremely wide, as wide as a house, because then you can't see everybody climbing on it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, not a common, but like, you know, the size, the trunk size. For the purpose of fitting it all, you know, like an oak tree.
Oh no, we've got a bad connection today, Anna. I'm worried.
I mean, I can log out and come back.
Can you? All right, try that. Anna's just going to log out and try and come back in. We've never had these problems before. Interesting.
All right, you go. I'll be back.
I'll keep going with this idea. And, oh, sweet Jesus. Okay. So I'm thinking, yeah, it might have to be a pine, just because, you know, I'm going for the ladder effect. Mind you, in the Amazon, they used to throw like rope belt type stuff and like harness themselves up. It was really physical, but they did it. And young boys would be able to run up coconut trees, and they were really tall as well. So not exactly trying to go for that, but, you know, there has to be multiple protruding branches so that multiple people can be on that tree at the same time. And Anna's right, it can't be too long. Oh, you're back. Excellent.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Hear and see.
I sound like a Verizon guy. Yeah, so I think that it has to be
redwoods. Redwoods?
But it has to have, yeah. And you're not gonna see the whole tree. I don't think you can see the whole tree. I think we should try and sketch it out and see what can be in.
Yep. I just want to suss this one out here in particular, because who was it? Sue Detmers. I couldn't, Sue. I just couldn't pronounce your last name. Sorry about that. So the National Geographic has some awesome images of people climbing giant redwoods. So I'm going to suss that out now. This might be kind of perfect, Anna.
What?
You need to Google National Geographic people climbing redwoods. You know, just that short National Geographic people climbing redwoods.
People climbing redwoods?
That's all I put.
Okay.
Wow, there's some like crazy beautiful footage here. Hey, National Geographic knows how to do it. They know how to do it, don't they? So we could sort of work with some of that, because I think for wands, having that red bark come through would be really stunning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I'm looking. There's some good perspective on these. Like, there's some really cool perspective. All right, so we'll sketch that one and see what we can come up with. All right, should we move to the ones?
Yep.
So okay, you go ahead, tell them your idea, and then I'll tell you what I was thinking, and then you tell me then if it.
Are we talking about the 6 here? We're talking about the 6, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay, so the 6, because it's victory. We wanted to go for the, I wanted to go for the aspect of crowning achievements. And you all know how much I like bones. So, I feel like I'm like shy about telling you my bone love right now. No, really. This is what I saw. So it was a crowning moment, a literal crowning moment. Let's say a man on the floor dropped to one knee, an animal pelt around him, and a crown of bones on his head. Like, elegantly done. Seems almost impossible, but think tribal bone wood, like, yeah. So I really, really priming.
I think it could work. I think it could work. I did have an idea. I'm going to
go. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Main idea. Okay, still crown of bones. So I'm not taking anything away from that.
Okay, go.
I'm just hold on. I have too many windows and I can't see you. Okay, now I can see you. All right. So here's what I was thinking. What if you showed male or female coronating themselves with, like, them, and you just have them like this very serious as they're placing the crown on their head.
Yeah. That one.
Okay. Instead, because it gives it more of a, like, you're in
a self-involvement. Yeah.
Right.
It's very first person.
So that was my take on it. Like, if you showed instead of pulled away.
Mitch up the road says, yes, all the yeses.
So like if you had, you could even have just, okay, so let me just, if you, the way you see me right now, like if you just had the shot, like you could just see the hands and just the, like have somebody look and the way they're putting the crown on the head. So just like a.
Very eye of the tiger, very eye of the tiger.
And then you could see the crown really, really close up.
Yes.
See it versus if it's far away. See the bones.
Yes, yes.
I had does it have to be a man or can it be a woman?
It can be either or. I was going with the man simply because it's a masculine element.
Okay.
So I'm much more masculine driven on this one. Not to say that a woman wouldn't work there. No, I think a dude. I think put a really sexy dude in there. Like a really like think virile man, like, you know, man in his prime, very, like, he owns it. He's crowning himself. He's really doing it, you know? So something with a lot of power, real self-empowerment, very defined, because we're looking primeval and we're talking about ancient times. This would be a very buff body and a really intense sense of purpose. So incredible eyes, maybe a really strong jawline because we want him to feel strong. None of this weak chin business. We want him to feel strong, stubble on his face. Think a mixture of how can I put this in really sexy terms? Charlie Hunnam and Chris Hemsworth all rolled into one. With just a touch more age.
I know Chris.
Think Sons of Anarchy.
I probably know.
Have you seen Sons of Anarchy?
No, I'm
going to send you a picture right now. You guys can appreciate the fact that this needs to happen. I'm going to send you a picture.
I don't have people. I'm one of those people.
He's my Hollywood husband at the moment. It used to be Chris Hemsworth, but now it's Charlie Hunnam. That's not a great picture, but okay. Let's go images. Okay, that one will do. Every one of them.
Yeah, just send me, text me. Can you text me the picture? Because then it'll be easy for me to.
I will. I'm going to text you the picture. That's in my downloads. I'm sending this through to you now. And you're going to have a really good time with this. And before I can say anything further, you're welcome. You're just so welcome.
Okay. I'm looking. Okay. Yuppers. Okay.
And she knows. Yeah, folks. She's good. She's good. She's there. She knows it. So just for inspiration, just for inspiration.
Right. Okay.
You know who else would work really well here for inspiration? And I've got to put this out there. I don't know his name. You will know who he is. He was Game of Thrones, the Targaryen. Is it Targaryen? He was the Targaryen, like Game of Thrones. That Jason. What's his name, guys? Help me out here.
I've never seen Game of Thrones. I'm so bad, people. Okay, so
Game of Thrones. He was also in a movie, Conan. He played in the new Conan movie. He was that dude. And he is quite virile. That's kind of who I would. Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa. I can't read too. Yeah. Google that one. See who that is. Yeah. And you'd be like, oh yeah, that's nice,
Oh yeah, I know who that is. Yep.
Yeah. So see what I'm going, like that kind of like intensely virile. Like he's
I can do that. He looks. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking for the for this card. And then the 7, where's my list? Where's my list? Oh. 7. Okay, 7 is, we said somebody on a battlefield, like having like a shot from above.
Yeah, literally like forward.
Looking up and you see like
oh, no, that was 7. You're frozen.
And looking up at on a hill where they're all,
yeah, that one, that one. Real kind of what could I equate it to? I want to use cinematic terms here for you all to see. Okay, there's many. I just had many ideas. But there is one scene in the new King Arthur movie, and it's played by, doesn't matter who it's played by, but it's the very start, the king, who's played by an Australian actor, holds on to Excalibur, and he takes a running jump from the edge of this concrete bridge kind of thing as part of his castle, and he just like leaps forward like sword in his hand kind of thing. And I wanted to include some of that same intensity, so it's about that, you know, that real active in the moment, that attack, like all the emotion of someone who's really winding up about to strike, and and that defensive kind of offensive defensive kind of vibe. Are you feeling me? You feeling
when I'm flying through, actually see them flying through the air, or do you want to sit at the hill like they're on top?
I think I think no hill. I think it should just be all like, because the hill is far too reminiscent for my liking of the Rider-Waite. That's very traditional Rider to have the hill there. I still want to be able to convey the image of it taking a defensive stance by pure body language and an up close kind of, you know. I think the way that I see it is kind of almost like in flight, if you know what I mean. Someone just like lunging forward.
I see. I think I know what you're going movie,
for.
Where is that? What movie is it?
What?
You mentioned
who? What movie?
Yeah, you said like a scene at the. Yeah. Okay.
The new King Arthur, who, by the way, has Charlie Hunnam in it. So if you wanted to,
you have to see that. I keep saying I'm going to see that, and I never get to see it.
Charlie Hunnam, Guy Ritchie directed it. Not quite 10 of Swords, Moenas. Not quite. We do have an idea for the 10 though. That's all right. Don't you worry. So yeah, they're the 3 that we're working on now. We have loose ideas, and when I say loose ideas, I mean I have a total of 3 keywords for each of the following. But we'll focus on those 3 right there and see how we can go about it. Anything you might want to add, Anna? Have we missed something?
Oh, to mention the color of the sky. This is just sketches. I mean,
we already have a color in place, don't we, with the Queen of Wands?
Right.
So whatever that color is, I think it's a sunset. I think it's a blazing sort of sunset.
Orange yellow. So orange yellow instead of the pink. So we have orange yellow.
Yeah. For the sun, yeah. Mm-hmm. Which will look nice in contrast behind the trees. It would look nice in every one of those pictures, really, wouldn't it?
I think it's I think that we've set them like the grayish, bluish. You have the moon that's present. All of the clusters different. So now we have this one. So this is from the cup. So
understood. Yeah. It should be a little bit different. All right.
I'm trying to think, if there's anything. No, I think that's it. I mean, yeah.
That's
I mean,
it.
should I? So why don't I start this one?
All right. And why don't I unbox this thing right now? Package that I didn't know was coming.
Yeah, guys, she kept this.
It arrived yesterday. It only arrived last night.
Box things. I don't know. Whenever I get a package, I unbox that I get. I cannot even step inside the house without ripping apart the package.
I have so much patience because I have practiced something that my friend Steve calls delayed gratification, and I'm very good at it now. But I'm going to unbox it now because I actually thought that it was something. Hey?
Oh, it's in there.
Okay, I'm excited then. It better not be a letter of resignation. If it is, this is unnecessarily large for that kind of business.
Big, right?
Well, you may have painted it. You're an artist.
Probably. That's a good idea. I'll like remember that. If I ever need to I'll paint it pretty with little flowers around it.
There you go. My condolences and happy birthdays, and I quit. It's all there. It's all there in the scope of art. You can't see it. Alrighty.
I think.
Well, I'm excited to see it. Who's impatient?
I'm gonna start drawing because I don't want to keep them after an hour. So.
All right, you start drawing, and I will continue to.
I'm gonna mute my
All right. I might have just cut a bit of my shirt. That's all right. Yay! Oh, so good, guys. Like, look at this. Look at it. Just look at it. That's what you sent me. And she sent me. It's me. It's me as on my mug. As this is in case you don't know, this is the wild card. This is the happy squirrel card in the Bonestone. So the Bonestone is not a traditional 78 card deck, it's 79 card deck.
Yes, you have the original one.
Yay! Where should I
give it to Matt to have it in his office at work?
Yeah, I'll be like, come on, put it up for your lovely wife. Oh, well, I'm gonna have space to hang all of my pictures soon because I'm getting rid of some more of my bookshelves as I downsize. So I'm super excited. How's about them apples? Yay! Right, folks. So because it is the nature of the waxing moon, how intense was the super full moon? And then the fact that we're in Merc retro at the moment, it's actually not bothering me. Usually I'm a bit like, but it's not bothering me right now. I did have a minor issue yesterday, and I won't. Oh my gosh. I was on a live stream yesterday for Spread This Witches, and I was interviewing is the wrong word. I was speaking to, we have a nice chat, Alora and I, with Caris Melina Brown, who's just the nicest person in the world. So smart, so intelligent, beautiful woman, a literal goddess, I'm sure of it. And just towards the end of it, we were on the live stream for a really long time. My youngest daughter, Trinity, woke up, and she came in and she's like, Mommy, I want to watch Ballerina. And Ballerina is a movie that I downloaded off iTunes. It's on my phone. And I thought, okay, I've got 10 minutes to go. I'll let her watch Ballerina. And so I gave her my phone. I put Ballerina on there for her. And I said, just sit down in the lounge room, which is like 2 meters away from me, right here. I can sort of see and hear her and everything. And in that 10 minutes time, and it was 10 minutes, in that 10 minutes time, she had somehow gotten into my phone, deleted a bunch of stuff, and then advertised 2 of my posts on Instagram. Now, I've never advertised on Instagram before in my life. She advertised a picture of me, a really weird picture of me, and a picture of crystals. And I was like, oh, Rennie. And I thought, fair enough, I'll just go in there and delete it. I'm trying to practice calm and patience. But you know what? It wouldn't let me delete it. I was stressing out. I was like, oh my God. It took me an hour and a half to figure it out. I had to go through Facebook to do it, had to delete it all. By that stage, I still had to pay money because people had seen the post and, of course, responded to the promotion, whatever it was. But I didn't even know what she had inputted into the parameters of that advert. It just, nothing was apparent to me. And then I cancelled it and everything was fine, but I still had to pay the money, which was annoying. But yeah, that happened yesterday. That happened. Oh, I love the Scorpio full moon that I've got. Scorpio is my ascendant. It's my rising sign. So I'm going to draw some cards here for us now for the waxing phase of the moon. We're approaching Litha and Yule. You know, Litha on my side, Yule on everybody else. Everyone in the north on my side. Well, listen to me. I'm so self-important. Oh, excuse me while I just come down off my pedestal. I'm going to draw some cards. I'm also breaking in a deck at the moment, so I thought, why not? Let's draw some cards. Divine Badass. That is the card for us, which I think we're achieving one way or another. This is obviously supposed to be a representation of Frida Kahlo, and the deck is called Love Your Inner Goddess, and it's by Alana Fairchild. So while I have this deck here and while Anna is sketching, I think we've talked about the construct and the concept of the 5, the 6, and the 7. The concepts of each of these suits is very readily available to you. We have quite a primal idea of what each one means. We're trying to capture the emotion and the essence, and be very descriptive as we do so. So should be really interesting. Pretty self-explanatory at the same time. There are some cards that you need to sort of really dig deep. Well, actually, you could dig deep in all cards, but I think for the purpose of the suit of wands, the suit of wands has always been very descriptive. Or maybe that's just me. I really gel well with the suit of wands. We've all got our suits that challenge us, and the suit of wands is one of the easiest for me to read, and so I just naturally assume that it's that way for everybody. But if you have a question that you would like me to answer with this particular deck, type it in capital letters and I'll try and get through a few of them before Anna is finished, and as soon as she's finished we'll pull up. So if you have a question, now's the time to ask. If not, I'm just going to shuffle. Just going to keep shuffling, and I would be using my sun and moon right now, but I just used it for a reading and it's all still in position. It's laid out on the table, looking amazing. Gosh, put my Instagram post up of that particular reading because it was legendary. This is my favorite time of the year for doing your magical new year reading. Been doing quite a few of those of late. So December to January is that time for me. Okay, general vibe for 2018. This is love everything, priority of purpose. So prioritize and give your attention to that which has deep and enduring purpose for you. It's about focus, drive. It's about healthy obsession and focusing on that which really like gets you lit and bright and happy. That's for you, Moenas. Did I do the right thing with my daughter today? Not that I know what that was, Mandy Yaya, but let's give it a hell of a go. Free spirit. Your daughter seems to be quite the free spirit, and chances are you did the right thing for yourself, and it might not negatively impact your daughter because she is a free spirit. Free spirit, they bounce back really quickly. You know, there might be a bit of a bridge to cross eventually in future, but I think for the moment you need to give her the space necessary to be that free spirit in a healthy way. Of course, if she's doing things that are unhealthy and detrimental to her health, then by all means step in there. But if it's about morality at this moment in time, morality is fast and loose. Saturn enters Capricorn soon, if not already, but soon. And that shifts a whole bunch of perspectives. There's some great articles about Saturn entering into Capricorn for the period of 3 years where, you know, conventionalism is just tossed out the window there. So keep that in mind. How will my financial situation progress over the next 6 months? You are stronger than you think, Magdalena. You are stronger than you think. That's it. Magdalena is your card, which is this one here. It's a beautiful card. And this is about thinking laterally, I think. Doesn't sound like in that frame of mind it's going to get any better for you, but the moment that you can assume power over your life and step forward into something that's a little bit more conducive to lateral thought and inspiration in the way that you think and the way you approach your challenges, then I think you're going to see some huge shifting of energy for yourself. And that's a really positive thing for you. But with that said, you are stronger than you think. It's not going to be something necessarily that brings you to the very core of your being that destabilizes. I don't sense a tower moment. I do sense a challenge there, though. A card for the creation process of the Red Earth Oracle. Why, Christina D, I would be honored. I would be honored. And you're doing such a wonderful job on the Red Earth Oracle. Let me just say to you, the Red Earth Oracle is an oracle deck created by Christina D and Chase 2 Owls. Chase is my Tabro goat. We collaborate on Spread the Switches if you didn't already know. Daughter of the Sacred Heart. Every saint has a past. Every sinner has a future. Oh, I think it's going to get dirty, and it absolutely has to get dirty. I think you can't shy away from being very raw in the deck itself. I think it needs to be, you know, uniquely expressive in a really, you know, in a really even way. So for the positivity that you infuse in there, be sure that you infuse the darkness that's necessary to keep the perfect balance in any creation process. I think that's going to be really healthy. But you're going to find yourself pushed and pulled in particular directions, and it's going to create this diversity of personality, and it's going to help you to find who you really, really are and how you want to behave and handle the challenges that are coming forward, especially from that deck's perspective. You have to be a bit defensive of your you know, creative endeavors. You have to. It's your passion projects. It's your vision. The moment you start to open it too much to other people to have influence over it and accept that influence as though you have no option and you have no choice, then you're going to lose sight of what it is that you're aiming for, and that cannot happen. So I think you're going to find some badass and keep things really like dirty and raw and real. I like it. I like it. What's up for the next month? Gargoyle Mistress. Let's have a look. You got the same card as I've already drawn. How about that? Priority of purpose. Love everything. Focus on what's important to you in the next coming month. Extreme amounts of focus, good planning, and learn to prioritize. You're going to find a bit of joy once you have all your ducks in order, I feel. Am I going in the right direction? Humor wins. Are you? Are you indeed? All right, let's go. Going in the right direction. How are we feeling with this deck at the moment? I find this deck to be really interesting. It might be an attuned deck yet. Let me just make my mind up about that. Am I going in the right direction? Elk Medicine Woman, Wild Heart. I think that you're not, but you are. I think that there's more brewing inside of you. There's a passion and a purpose that might be buried under quite a bit of inactivity at the moment, or inability to express yourself fully and completely. So there's the call of the wild heart. And Elk the medicine woman is about healing and finding healing in the most natural of places, finding healing through the most practical of approaches in the most natural of places. So put yourself out there for that kind of transformation, and 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 that will be heading in the right direction. If I would say which direction, I would say go to the wild places. Go to those beautiful wild places where a good deal of sacred energy pools and a good deal of transformation can occur for yourself. What do I need to know for 2018? 2018, Claire G. Let's have a look. It's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. Freaking beautiful. That is your card. You need to focus on unleashing something that's very unique inside of you, finding that that place of unique resonance. We all have a little freak. We all have a little freak. We've all got a little darkness. We've all got a little something. It's what makes us unique. The combinations of all of those facets is what makes us genuinely unique. Now, what happens is once we've identified a vast portion of those little facets that we have within inside of us, we feel nervous and sometimes scared, and we tend to repress or push down or just not want to bother people. We don't want to upset other people. The natural person, the good individual, the normal everyday person, they don't want to go around upsetting everybody. But the fact of the matter is sometimes you can't help but upset people. Even if you're being perfectly courteous, you're gonna upset someone. So why not let that flag fly just that little bit higher with a little bit more gusto and see exactly where that takes you. The moment you start to wear your colors on the outside rather than the inside, you start to show people who you really are, and this helps you to attract the tribe, the people that really resonate with who you are. It helps you to integrate better into social circles and to find people who have commonality in you and to attract opportunities that generally resonate with who you are. So be proud of who you are. Unleash that aspect of yourself. What do you need to focus on more in 2018? I've got a lot of 2018 questions here. Which up the road? This is for you. I like this oracle deck. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's definitely empowering. It's got that empowering mojo. Madonna of Roses, the heart of the warrior. So for 2018, which up the road, I would say that you are going to have made solid contact with the cause. I love this. I love this. I'm one of those people that has a cause always. I've always got a cause. I feel very passionate about this. It's very important to me. I have a cause. You know, you're going to find your cause. And it's Madonna of Roses, heart of a warrior. So you're going to need to find ways to express yourself and to advocate in a positive way for your causes, to speak out. That could be very much a thing. To learn to speak out, to find your voice, to set sacred boundaries, sacred selfishness, to understand that in several situations in our life, we're taught that we must be open always to other people, and that it's perfectly normal to close a door and to set up a boundary so that you're not exploited and you're not taken advantage of. It's our responsibilities to teach other people how we ourselves would like to be treated. And so I think that might be a cause for you. Where are we going? What's the truth? Failing school, so took things away. Good for you, Mandy Yaya. Sounds like you did well. To work on listening to the cards. Please, I need to work on listening. Do the cards have any insight? Claire Branson. Let's have a look. You need to work on listening. You know, one of the key ways to really listen is to stop speaking. This is advice that I know firsthand. I talk at and over people. I know this. Oh You fucking kidding me? This is our patron card of the day. It's priority and prioritize. Love is everything. What's important? Why do you want to listen? Why do you want to listen more? Allow the reason behind this idea that you need to do more listening, more active listening, work more on listening. Allow that reason for that action, for the desire for that action to be what propels you. Really love it, really integrate it. The moment you're more focused on the reasons as to why rather than the action of, you're going to naturally succeed at what you want to do. And that's the same that can be said for many, many things, right? Insights on a business endeavor, Madeline M. Let's have a look. Capital letters, people, capital letters. Business endeavor, be there for you. There are no friends in business, isn't that what they say? Just be very mindful of how much of yourself you're giving to your business, and understand that your health, your spiritual, physical, mental well-being is incredibly important to the health of your business, to the vitality of your business, and that you need to make things very, very clear for that in the beginning. And also you need to plan and prioritize, because time is something that requires planning and prioritizing. In our modern society, in our modern day, we adults, we don't have time unless we plan for it. It's as simple as that. We have to plan, we have to make plans. And if we don't make plans and we don't prioritize our time, then we end up with no free time, with no quality of life, with a lot of stress and a lot of issues. So really make sure that you're ahead of the game on that one. And to make it about you, to make it about it being important to you, it being inspired by you, motivated by you, etc., etc., etc. Advice as I work on myself. Advice as I work on my love and magical and spiritual growth. That's a lot. Creatrix. Your advice is to create as much as possible. The moment that you start making space for creation, for creativity to flow through your life, you are getting in touch with the sacred divine in a way that is so beautifully spiritual. It is the Arwen, the sacred divine, the inspiration, the bardic inspiration, the artist's inspiration. It's the muse. So get in touch with it. And I feel that once we are in a really creative stream of our lives, that creativity spills out onto everything else. We begin to motivate others. Our personalities, our energy fields naturally change. We tend to become more beautiful, happier, more radiant, more at peace. It really has a positive effect. So allow that to spill out so that it affects everything else in your life. That would be your advice. Lack of employment since completing my MA in 2016. Directions. Those who brings direction. Ooh. Dames. Damsel 5. Damsel 5. God, I can't read today. Damsel 5 brings direction. This is you. This is a really interesting one for lack of employment. There is a diversity of thought here. There is coming direction of some descriptions. This is very dark, subdued sort of imagery. It's getting in touch with more crone-like energy, with the darker aspects of the self. I'm going to go ahead and say to shadow work for this. It might not seem like the right answer for you, but when we shadow work in places where we're having resistance, and if you have been unemployed since completing your MA since 2016, then shadow work on where the blockage is, because chances are if we're not accepting opportunities in our life, we're not seeing opportunities in our life, then we've naturally got a blockage to that. So I would definitely recommend a little bit of shadow work readings. Go and talk to someone about it if you're feeling confident doing it yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we're far too close to an issue to really hash it out effectively. How are you going there, Anna? You good? You still going?
I'm good. I'm done.
You're good. All right, that's it. That's it for readings, ladies and gentlemen. I think I got through quite a heap then. Woo!
Okay. Okay, so this, I sketched out quickly, so, all right. The 5, it was, and the guy at the bottom screaming. Now, fit it all in the vertical card. So,
Yep.
4 clients and the guy down,
Yep.
Can you see the whole image?
I can.
Okay. There's 3, there's 4. That's the tree, the red tree.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom facing you, yelling like you'll be.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Kind of rallying them on. Yeah, he would be down, and then this is kind of like it'll be getting thinner, like it's wider here and then thinner at the. So that's the 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I just put the borders so you can kind of see where it would.
Yeah.
Okay. 6. So the jumping with the sword. So all right. So here the music. Jumping. White background. One sword. This is a shield holding it, and then there's things hitting the shield, like I was thinking like arrows. I made her a female because it's just easier for me to draw quickly.
I noticed. I saw the boobs.
Yeah, she's just flying through the air, with the, and then the, like protecting. She's screaming. Ah!
I like it. I like it.
So that should be the main. Everything else would be kind of at the bottom background. So that's that one. And then, so 4, 5, 6 is the king. So, I mean, I have to look at a picture of a guy, but this is like, he would bone. I have to look at the crown and figure out, and then he's covered, his hair is kind of flowing on his face halfway, so he can kind of and then he's
brooding and handsome. That crown has to be nice and big too. So I have to know that's a crown prototype. Now with the 5, I was just thinking with the 5, it would be important if those tree climbers could be looking at each other, kind of thing, like where is he, what's he doing, where's the other one, kind of like there'd be a bit of intensity and eye contact. So that would work.
So this guy looking up, this guy's looking at this one,
and that one's looking at the other one. Yeah,
that one's looking down, and this one. Yeah. So they are. I did make them kind of other.
That's it. Yeah. Climbing. Just so there's that element of awareness. Where's the other competitor? Where is he? Like, how far away is he? I like it. I like it. That went well.
What?
That went well.
Okay, good. So we did 3. So 5, 6, and 7. So we have ace through 7 in wands right now.
Ace through to 7. Perfect.
Aces. So, oops. For the next bash, whenever that was, I don't know. Are you doing a bash? Where you said you're taking?
Hang on a minute.
I'm going to write down this is.
It's the 6th today, right? Well, the 6th for me. It's the 5th for you. We could probably do another one on the 20th. Oh, that might be difficult though. No, actually, I don't think I can because this is the last week of school for my daughter. So, oh no, I could. My daughter will be home, but she's the eldest, so she'll love that time to do a bit of art, but I'll keep it to an hour long if that's the case. No, we can do 20th. We can do the 20th.
Okay.
And then I'll break until January. We can break until 20th. So from the 20th to say the 17th of January, we can take a break there.
Okay. So then for the next, for the 20th, the ace, the 2, and the 3.
Yeah.
So we're gonna, yeah, okay, so we are doing a Polynesian and a,
yeah, Polynesian.
I'm writing it down. Right. I don't draw a different tribal man. Okay. So we're going into the wands.
Perfect. Wonderful. All right, folks. Well, that will bring us to a close of this particular Bonestone Bash. So we did some designing, we did some unveiling, we did an unboxing, we did some tarot readings, we had some news. This was actually really action-packed, unnaturally action-packed, because it's wands. See what I mean? Naturally action-packed because it's wands. So let us take a little moment to ground and center. Thank each other for being present in this live stream. I appreciate you. I appreciate Anna. I hope you all appreciate me. I hope you all appreciate Anna as well. We are trying very, very hard at achieving something that is perfection for us, especially. And, you know, having a really good time, not allowing it to get us too sour. So what are other news? Anna Turian's deck, the Hidden Waters. Is it the Hidden Waters?
Oh, right. Yeah. So I decided to do. Okay, so that deck is very expensive to print because it has over 78 cards. It has like 79, 81, like 82 cards. So you wouldn't believe that four more cards would up the price of a printing, but it does a lot. So because of the year, I do like pre-orders in like December and January, and then whatever is pre-ordered, that's what I'm ordering. I'm not ordering more. I'm not ordering more during the year. That's it, because it's like I cannot, like, the printing cost is very high for that deck. So I'm like, first I was going to retire it, but then I was like, I'll just do it once a year. I'll just do a couple at the beginning of the year, and that way I've said my piece.
Perfect. And that's the Hidden Waters. That's not the Oracle of Echoes.
All of Echoes I have out. It's
okay.
It's available all the time. But
and
that one.
Tarot of the Absurd?
What?
How's Tarot of the Absurd going?
Abyss.
Absurd, Abyss. Oh my God, there is an absurd one though, isn't there? That it's not yours. Yeah. It's another deck.
The Abyss is I went through major cups is done, and I have a bunch of ideas for the swords, but I'm not going to start drawing that out until I finish your deck, because I'm trying to separate the ideas. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to blend. And it's just, I want to be done with one project, and then once I'm done illustrating yours, I'm going to jump back on that one. But I'm trying to get it out because I know a lot of people want the Bonestone now. So as sooner illustrate it in a good way, the sooner they can get it, right? So
that's it. And then for those of you who don't know, I'm going to rope Anna into another project. But that's not what we're talking about today. I've already told her. She's like, really? I thought you were joking. This was ages ago. We talked about this ages ago. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for joining us once again. If you haven't already, please join our Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot Facebook group so that you can see all the behind the scenes and keep up to date with any of the updates that myself or Anna are posting, which are constant and regular. We are active there. You can also see color and progress photos of all the cards that have been created thus far. And usually that Facebook group are the first people to see the sketches and the first hints of anything. And so it's beneficial. And announcements are made there first. Announcements for these live casts are made there first. All sorts of stuff goes on down there. And Anna does like videos and private videos, artistry and stuff like that. So it's a really interactive space. It's a lovely space. It's a lovely space full of lovely people.
I'll be doing more of the videos once I finish sketching. I have to transfer all the sketches and make them pretty. So, but yeah, it's been fun.
Yes.
I just didn't think. I was worried that people would get bored just staring at me paint.
It's meditative. I think it's really exciting, and for people who want to learn art too, it's really handy to get to see an artist in the process. That's valuable stuff right there, folks. That's valuable stuff. Right, people. Well, that is it from me. Wishing you all so much love, luck, peace, and joy. I'm going to be full ball into my readings now. I've got lots of readings to do as well, and then I'm going to close down my shop for the Christmas period, or just after Christmas, to allow myself the time to focus on writing. Otherwise, I'm going to get really distracted. And my husband is taking the kids, so I feel like I should be very purposeful with that time. So there you have it from me. Would you like to say farewell, Anna?
Yes. Bye, guys. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by the Facebook group and hanging out with me when I have the videos, because I'm lonely.
It's a beautiful thing. All right, guys. Well, please look after yourself.